Hey everyone. So I just wanted to touch on something that is certainly one of my favorite parts of the game and something I enjoy a lot. Fighting has started to pick up these playoffs now. The first round was very quiet fight-wise. There were only 3 fights in the entire first round. But we've already had 3 more in the second round now. And they've all come one each night for the last 3 days. We had Nick Bonino versus Jacob Trouba, then David Backus versus Cedric Paquette, and then TJ Oshie versus Chris Letang last night. So we're up to 6 fights in the playoffs now, which is on about normal pace. And this year's kind of been similar to last year in that regard. Last playoffs last year, we ended up with 13 fights in the playoffs, which is actually a lot. That was the most that there had been, I think, since 2013 or 2012. It had been a number of years since we had 13 or more. The average is usually around 10. I think it's usually most years like around 9, 10, 11, something like that. So 13 was a good year. And this year we're at 6 already, so we're on pace for another decent number. We should at least get to the average, and I think that's great. I'm a big fan of fighting. I love it in hockey, and it makes everything so much more exciting. I love it when the teams hate each other and players hate each other, and we've certainly seen that throughout these playoffs. And it's nice to see some guys actually shedding the gloves and throwing some punches. It's really, you don't see it as much anymore. Hockey is not like it used to be, and I don't think it's as good as it used to be in that regard and entertainment wise and stuff. But again, I know that for sure that there were 13 fights in the playoffs last year. That number I know off the top of my head, but usually I create a playlist on my personal YouTube channel every year of just playoff fights, and usually there's only 8, 9, 10 fights. So 13 last year was good, and we'll see what happens this year. I definitely think that there's some potential here for certainly some more, maybe even tonight. I think Tampa Bay versus Boston has a chance to get really nasty, especially if the score ends up lopsided one way or the other. Those two teams do not like each other at all. And then Pittsburgh and Washington have been at each other's throats all series long now, and really for the last number of years, that's been a really strong rivalry. And Nashville and Winnipeg has been an incredibly physical series. And so there's potential for more fights in that series too. So it's good to see guys still willing to drop the gloves, because there's certainly a lot less guys who fight now than there used to be, and there's a lot less fights now than there used to be. But it's not gone for completely. It's there's still some guys who will do it, and that's really cool to see. And hopefully there's some more the rest of these playoffs. I'll certainly look forward to seeing all the action the rest of the way, and we'll see how close we get to last year's number, which certainly got boosted by the 3 in the Stanley Cup final between Nashville and Pittsburgh. You usually don't see much for fighting in the actual Stanley Cup final, but we did last year, so we'll see what the matchup is again this year and how that turns out, and we'll see how the rest of the playoffs go. But first round was quiet. Same thing last year. The first round was pretty quiet, and then the second round it kind of heated up, and we're seeing pretty much the same trajectory this playoff. So I just wanted to touch on that. The series have all been very physical. The playoffs in general, for the most part, have been very physical. I thought there were kind of some dud series in the first round, but the second round has been absolutely fantastic, and these teams are really at each other's throats. So that makes for good hockey. That makes for entertaining hockey, intense hockey, everything that I want to see in a hockey game and in a playoff series. So that's really cool, and we'll see what the rest of the playoffs have in store. So like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media, check out offthewallhockey.com. All those links are in the description below. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Keep the subscriber count growing. We're up to 115 now, and that's really, really awesome, and I just hope things keep on going up from here. So thank you all so much for watching, and talk to you soon.